flower grows in Hiroshima, known by very few. Its color changes at a certain time, as if the flowers knew. Spring till early August, it remains solid blue. Then its edges appear to be burned, as if the flowers knew. Funny how it happened so precisely, but it's true. Every August 6th at 8:15, the blossom changes hue, as if the flowers knew. I think flowers remember, and there's something else they do. They pass that memory on again, if only we will too. If only we will too. At 8:15, August 6th, 1945, out of rubble a flower grew, and still the flowers thrive, still the flowers thrive. A flower grows in Hiroshima, known by very few. Its color changes at a certain time, as if the flowers knew. As if the flowers knew.
Hello, I'm Ed Groff, and welcome to Brethren Voices. This is a celebration of the 200th edition of Brethren Voices during the past 17 years. Usually I'm behind the camera and in the editing room, but this time I'm filling in for Brent Carlson, who is currently enjoying the warmth and sights of Spain. Mike Stern and Bill Jolliff were featured performers of a concert in support of the World Friendship Center of Hiroshima, Japan. In August of 1965, the center was founded and dedicated by a Quaker, Barbara Reynolds, as a place for building friendships one at a time and promoting a peace in the world without nuclear weapons. Bill Jolliff is a professor of English at George Fox University in Newberg, Oregon. He teaches American literature, poetry writing, and literary criticism. He uses these gifts in the creation of songs, with many translated by banjo. Now, here's Bill Jolliff.
On that resurrection morning when the trump of God shall sound and the dead will all be raised up from the grave, there's going to be some troubled faces when we take a look around, and you can bet your soul that one of us will say, oh, I never could have dreamed that you folks could be redeemed. It just may be that heaven's gates are wider than they'd seem, and eternity's just long enough to let the truth come clear. It's surprising, but I'm glad to see you here. So who's going to be there anyway? There's going to be Turks and jerks and cannibals, communists and kings, lots of Catholics and Creeks and Greeks and Jews, black folks from darkest Africa, white folks from Des Moines. There'll be Pharisees and politicians too. You'll see ranting Pentecostals dancing under tongues of fire, all us Quakers sitting silently alone. Hare Krishna's chanting gospel with the downtown Baptist choir doing steps good Christians never could condone. But then they never would have dreamed that you folks could be redeemed. It just may be that heaven's gates are wider than they'd seem, and eternity's just long enough to let the truth come clear. What a hoot to think who all might end up here. There's a light that shines in everyone that comes into this world. It's a spark of truth that's waiting there to grow. And regardless of the words we use, it's love that fans the flame as the inward light of Christ begins to glow. And it's a many-colored kingdom with a wise and gracious king. And now it seems that heaven's gates are wider than we dreamed. If we open up our minds and hearts, the truth of Christ is clear, and there's no better place to let that start than here. If we open up our minds and hearts, the truth of Christ is clear, and there's no better place to let that start than here. In Newberg, Oregon, there is a cenotaph for a young man named Wesley Everest. That might not be a name that's familiar to you. Some of you might not even know what a cenotaph is, although it sounds like something that coupled with COVID could certainly be bad. A cenotaph is a grave with nobody in it, and it's put in a churchyard to honor that person, even though the body couldn't be reclaimed or was taken elsewhere. And the cenotaph for Wesley Everest is there in Newberg, Oregon. Wesley Everest lived about 100 years ago, and he was a young guy from the Newberg area who became a member of the Industrial Workers of the World when they were doing some important work in the logging camps and other places here in the Northwest in the early 20th century. Oh, my name is Wesley Everest, my story you should know. I died up in the Northwoods 100 years ago. It was not accidental the way I met my death, but with my Union comrades, I took my final breath. I found myself conscripted in 1917, assigned to a deployment to log the big spruce trees, to build the trains and airplanes so vital to the Corps, to bring about a victory in the war to end all wars. I was a fair young logger, a true Northwestern man, and yet I was imprisoned by military ban. A true and faithful soldier, I did not shirk nor drag. Just a one charge fell against me, I'd not salute their flag. So when the war was over, I fought another fight. I traveled to Centralia to organize a strike. Among those wild old wobblies, I found the one true cause, to work for one big union and honest labor laws. Oh, the rich folks of Centralia despised us union men. They tried before to beat us down, and now they try again. They called in every gun thug from all the country round to fall upon us workers and drive us out of town. Oh, the legionnaires came marching that cold November day, with all their flags a-flying. God, how they loved parades. So gallant in their uniforms, they stormed the Union Hall and fired on us workers. They'd like to have killed us all. We Union men stood ready, and bullets fell like hail. But at last they overcame us and hauled me off to jail. But I never came to trial, nor stood before a judge. That night the Legion lynched me off old Centralia Bridge. My body they mutilated, my corpse could not be saved. But do not mourn my passing, for mine's an empty grave, and on the wings of freedom my spirit's taking flight. It lives in every worker who fights the Union fight. Oh, my name is Wesley Everest, a story you should know. I died up in the Northwoods 100 years ago, and on the wings of freedom my spirit's taking flight. It lives in every worker who fights the Union fight.
Mike Stern was also a featured performer in the concert and featured in the January Brethren Voices. You've just heard his song, As If the Flowers Knew. Mike spent many years as a family nurse practitioner, is currently retired, and has been working on creating songbooks for his songs of peace, justice, wonder, and love. And he's written these songs over the years. We present Mike Stern.
First they came for the communists, and they came for the Jew. But I wasn't a communist, and I wasn't a Jew. So I didn't stand up, and I didn't ask why. By the time they came for me, there was no one left to ask why. Then they came for the Unionists, and they came for the priests. But I wasn't a Unionist, Yes, we're gonna stand up and we're gonna ask why. And we're gonna ask why. If sometime they come for us, there'll be lots of people standing side by side. A whole lot of people standing side by side. This song was written after a major flood, but there's been a lot of floods since then. And it's really about more than one flood, and it's about more than just floods. It's about how people can help one another in times of crisis, no matter where it is. And whether it's a flood or an earthquake or tsunami or war, it's about making our way together to higher ground. River water rising, rain still coming down. The old farm's a lake, but if the levees break, it'll damn near take this whole town. It's like living in a nightmare that you can't believe is true. How we'll clean up this mess is anybody's guess. Don't know how we'll make it through. Headed up to higher ground, I heard a stranger say, with a hand held out to me, said we'd best be on our way. Let's just turn around. We don't have much money, and we're running out of gas. This crazy war goes on, now our house is gone. God, we pray this too will pass. I'm headed up to higher ground. Headed up to higher ground. I heard a stranger say, I heard a stranger say, with a hand held out to me, with a hand held out to me, said we'd best be on our way. Let's do the whole verse. All across this land, from east to west, folks will do their best to lend a helping hand. I'm headed up to higher ground, to higher ground. I heard my neighbor say, I heard my neighbor say, with a hand held out to me, with a hand held out to me, said we'd best be on our way. Just turn around. River water rising, rain still coming down. we'd best be on our way.
Thanks for joining us for Brethren Voices. I'm Ed Groff. I've been sitting in for Brent Carlson, and I wish you peace.
This one's called There is Sunshine in My Soul Today. This might be a little strange to you, but a lot of people think of me, their first thought is not of sunshine. I have family here this evening who could attest to that. But you know, you don't sing about what you are, you sing about what you want to be. I'm going to sing about being in tune. All right, this was written by a woman named Maria Hewitt back in, it was published in 1888. And she was a school teacher, so I kind of identify with that. And also, one day when she was teaching, she turned her back, and a student just hit her as hard as he could and totally messed up her back. So let's see, school teacher, hit by students, makes sense to me. Who could not connect? Well, one of the things that she did while she was laid up, and she was in a body cast for 6 months. Try to imagine being in a body cast for 6 months in the 1870s. I figure if she can say there's sunshine in my soul, I can say there's sunshine in my soul. And today, sunshine in my soul goes just like this. There is sunshine in my soul today, more glorious and bright than closing in the earthly sky. For Jesus is the light. There's sunshine, blessed sunshine, where the peaceful, happy moments roll. When Jesus shows his smiling face, there's sunshine in my soul. There is springtime in my soul today, for when my Lord is near, the dove of peace sings in my heart, the flowers of grace appear. There's sunshine, blessed sunshine, where the peaceful, happy moments roll. When Jesus shows his smiling face, there's sunshine in my soul. There is gladness in my soul today, and hope and praise and love, for blessings which he gives me now, for joys laid up above. There's sunshine, blessed sunshine, where the peaceful, happy moments roll. When Jesus shows his smiling face, there is sunshine in my soul. There is music in my soul today, a carol to my King. And Jesus, listening, can hear the songs I just can't sing. There's sunshine, blessed sunshine, where the peaceful have